if a man suspects that his wife has committed adultery, suspicion, no, that he should go to the high priest. He said if jealousy is stirred up in him, go to the high priest, report her. They will summon her, and they will take dust from the temple and they'll mix it with water and they'll give her to drink. If she's not guilty, nothing will happen to her. But if she's guilty, her stomach will swell, her thigh will rot, and she will die. I said, well, any woman who sees that and goes to commit adultery, she knew what was coming. Then I kept reading to see where God said if the woman too suspect. Our own is not suspect. We don't catch them. We caught them at it. It's not just suspicion. We have caught them. I was ready to see where God would say, if the woman too suspect, go and report. I didn't see it. I finished the book of Numbers. I went to Deuteronomy. Exodus. Genesis. I said, God, what is this? I said, God, this is wrong. This is unfair. This is not right. How can you give the men the opportunity to come to you and say, I suspect, and you won't give the woman the opportunity to come and say, I caught him? We did not even just suspect, we caught him. Why will you do that? That's unfair. I told God, I said, when I get to heaven, that's one of the first questions you will answer for me. I said to God, I don't like this. This is not fair. You are part of the problem. A man who commits adultery 65,000 times, everybody will say to the wife, keep praying for him, submit some more, love him. A woman will commit once and the whole world will rise up against her. I said, God, you are the problem. Why will you do that? One day, everywhere I was preaching to women like this, I would say it. One day I was preaching in a Methodist church, River State Methodist Women's Convention. All of them came from all over the state. There were thousands of women there. And I was saying this thing. God said to me, stop. You don't have to wait till you get to heaven for me to answer you. He said, I'll answer you now. And the way you have accused me before the people, vindicate me. I said, Lord, what do you mean? He said, I do not condone adultery in men. I already said it that a man who commits adultery is reduced to a loaf of bread. In Message translation, he says he commits a brainless act. He's brainless. In the book of Job, he says adultery will root out all my increase. In the book of Job, he says if I have locked at another man's door, he said then let my wife grind for other men. May other men bow upon her. Go read it, it's there. He said, so I don't condone adultery in men. He said, but the reason I'm particular about the woman, hear me well, woman. The reason I'm so particular about the woman is that the woman is the only legal doorway through which life comes to the earth. So if she pollutes that passage, everything that comes through her is polluted. That's why Jesus was born by a virgin. So that he will not take on spirits that have nothing to do with the kingdom. That's why you cannot open your body anyhow.
This statement here, this mystery has been forgotten by the world, but was greatly understood by the older generations in time past, all over the world, in all cultures, and it was even a treasure to marry a virgin. That is why we are seeing the attack on virginity today. We can even find this in scriptures. It was celebrated when, a man got married to a virgin, because they understood that to keep the bloodline pure as a man, the gate also had to be pure. The reason behind the attack on virginity is because woman is the gateway or the doorway through which life enters this world. The womb is a gate. That is why generation past placed great value on marrying a virgin woman. But today, virginity is being mocked. It is being seen as a shameful thing. And those who are promiscuous, we are seeing OnlyFans celebrities. We are seeing those who were once porn stars having their own TV shows, being celebrated by the world. We are seeing young girls who are being ridiculed for being virgins. Meanwhile, prostitutes are celebrated on the internet. So we are getting into a dark time where evil is being celebrated as good and good is seen as evil.
These days, if they do Olosho, girls go to look like say follow. I don't know how Olosho business moved from being a business for people that needed to survive to a lifestyle. These days, Olosho is a lifestyle. The bigger Olosho you are, the more girls want to worship you. A lot of women, not all. I'm trying to understand how we moved from that level. And this is also in other aspects. It's as if the more bigger teeth that you are, the more you are worshipped. And I'm trying to understand how.
My body count is 1,572. And so I don't think body count should matter, to be honest. I don't know. I've heard a lot of numbers and it just doesn't really matter. Excuse me, you can't shame people because of their body count.
1,500, whatever.
72. 72. I don't think being a virgin matters because, again, same with body count, like it doesn't really affect anything.
What's your body count?
Mine is only 6.
I lost track, honestly. I don't know. I don't have a journal where I wrote down all the names, so I literally have absolutely no clue.
Like if you had to give a range.
I literally don't know. I have no clue if it would be like 30, 100, or over that. Like, I have no clue. Well, there was like at one point where I was on Tinder and I was doing it like every week. There was one time I did it twice in one day with 2 different guys, so I don't know.
So no sense of a range.
It could literally be anywhere between 30 to like 200.
The whole agenda behind the hookup culture is just to defile as many gates as possible. So there is no commitment, there is no accountability, just access and demonic rituals happening. Remember, these videos still relate to the last post where I talked about demonic sexual rituals, where they link up, they get high, they take drugs, and then they have sex. All these are rituals. So it is one thing for a guy to have multiple partners, he destroys his own soul. But for a woman who is a gate, that destroys their entire family. So every defiled gate becomes a legal doorway, not just into the body, that is legal doorway for demons, but a legal doorway into the family, into the marriage, and into the future generation. All this is not by accident. The agenda is to ensure that ungodly generations are born into the world. As long as there is promiscuity, as long as there is defilement of the gates, then demons will have legal access, because you have people being born with all forms of issues. Kids at very young age, confused about their identities.